'cause I've been missing you for oh so long. I can't wait, can't wait. See, I've been missing you.
Hello. What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube, Facebook world? It's your boy Sheldon, and this is my lovely wife,
Sheila.
And we are the Sloans. We are here with the Friends of Our Marriage group, and we have been here this week and this month. We are talking about, what is the topic this month?
Love.
Love. Love. I know that's right. I love this woman right here. If I don't love nobody else, I love her. I know that. And I'm glad you guys were able to join us. We've got a couple of people chiming in right now, getting into the chat room. Let us know where you're at, where you're from, you know, who you are, what's going on. Just want to see where you guys are from and just let us all know. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. This is our live interactive streaming marriage support group. You can join our chat at www.idometoo.org. That's www.idometoo.org. All right. Our discussion this week, the series focus and topic is on love, like my wife was just saying. And we are going to be exploring the question, is love enough to save a marriage? What do you think, baby?
It can be.
Wait, let's do this.
No,
Let's do this. I'm
Question.
sorry I did ask the question, but hold on one second. We've got some guests that are joining us this evening, and this couple we just recently met this couple a couple of years ago. I DJ at one of the local pools in the area, and they are members at that pool, and they have they've got some great kids, and it's just whenever we have the dance contest, their little girl is always, when she gets out of the pool, she comes running over. She says, "Are we gonna have a dance contest? Are we gonna have a dance contest?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, she goes and runs to tell all her friends, "We're having a dance contest." So it's like we have really got to know them pretty well, and we're having a great time. So we asked them to join us this evening, and they decided that they were going to get on and join us. So we would love for you to meet our guest this evening. The Gillies. We have Brian and Hannah. Hello, guys.
Hello.
How are y'all?
All right, how y'all
Great.
doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Good. I hope I didn't murder your last name. Did I say it right? The Gillies.
Gillens, you got it.
Gillies. Yes, I said it right.
And how long y'all been married?
It'll be 17 years in December.
Oh, that's great.
We're hitting on what?
We'll be 17 in March of next year. We're 16 now.
Yeah, you was really thinking on that.
I had to think on it for a second.
Yeah, you was thinking.
I'm sorry. I usually am quick on the draw with that, but today I was off.
You was like, I wanted to say January,
I did.
but it's March.
January was the day that we met, so that's why I was thinking about January. Yeah.
That's the important date that he's got to remember. The date you met.
Yeah, the day we married. I said, nope, it's the day we got married.
The day we got.
Mhm.
That's it. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into this right now. And I know before we were talking about, let me back this up real quick before we go into that. Now, we were talking about our series topic. And the question that we're exploring is love enough to save a marriage? And I was about to ask you about that. So I'd like to go ahead and get your response on that. Is love enough to save a marriage?
It can be. That's all I was gonna say. It really can. It can be. It really depends on the couple. Because I mean, love is like a lot of people see it as just a word.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in your heart and you really love each other, you're willing to go do different things like, as we get married, they say through sickness and health,
Richer
for richer or poor,
better. Yeah,
better or worse, just things like that. If you understand love, then you understand that. But if you don't, then, sometimes it's scary.
yeah,
Because someone can tell you they love you every day, but then you can end up getting a divorce.
true. It's very,
Well, I
very
think it goes past that, as far as, this love can only go so far. We know that the agape love, is love is patient, love is kind, love does not keep any record of wrongs. That's the biblical love that we're told about. And this love can only take us so far, because I can love him immensely and he can love me immensely, but is this love enough? Most of the time, no, it's not going to measure up,
true.
because we're human, we're sinners, we're going to fall short. And so it comes from a love that we can only understand because he first loved us. And it's husbands, love your wife as you love the church, love the church, or as I've loved the church. And I think that we're called to a deeper love because we understand the love that Christ gave us.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all right. I like that
It is so
answer.
true, and
I
it's
like that
really
answer.
about both of you guys as a couple. Like, you have to really respect each other. I know you had mentioned sin, but sin also is a factor of, the marriage. Like, you have to really respect each other as well to, keep that love, going strong. Because a lot of people that we, have met have been married for 40 some years.
Yeah,
They had to, I'm I'm thinking, you have to really respect each other to stay together that long.
yeah. It's a lot of things that you'll go through in a marriage where you've got to forgive. There's a lot of forgiveness in a marriage. That's one thing that I can say. I do know that.
When
Mhm.
we found that we've kind of had to start dating each other again. I mean, we've got, almost a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And so we're finding things to do, just the two of us, paddleboarding this past weekend, doing something that we've never done together.
Yeah,
Um, things like that, just to make it fun.
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to keep the spark there. You
As
got
the
to keep it
kids get
alive.
older, because our children, we don't have children together, but his son is 25, my daughter's 24, my second child is 22. We have three grandbabies, and which our children been out of the home since they turned 18.
Yeah, each
Every
one
last one
when they
of
were
them got
18,
their
they
own
all
place,
went
and
their own
you
way.
know,
So
yeah. So it's like sometimes we have to tell ourselves, no more DJing. You know, we ain't doing nothing today. Let's just go
yeah,
out and do something for ourselves.
I've got to take
Um,
that time. Like
yeah.
people will call for dates and things of that. And for her to do, she's a make. I mean, for her doing makeup, and we
Hmm.
both got to put it in our schedule and say, nope, this is our day. This is going to be our weekend.
No
No
grandkids,
grandkids,
nothing.
nothing. We're going out, and
Hmm.
we have to do that in order for us to stay focused a lot of times. So I
Yeah.
definitely get that. And so as we move forward, we said one of the questions that was a fact that we came up with, the producers came up with, is in 2021, the average age of marriage for female participants was 33, while male respondents married at the age of 35.
Mm.
That's about
Wow.
us. That's like kind of like when
I
we
think
got
we was in
married.
our 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this was up from 2019 to 2020 when the average marital age for a couple was 32 years old. Okay. So what do you think about that? No response on that one.
Mm-mm.
We're the oddballs. We're high school sweethearts. So we got married.
Oh,
You were 19.
Yeah, we were right out of high school.
Oh, well,
that's cool.
congratulations.
That is so cool. I
Yes.
know just a few couples like that that got married out of high school. Well, I know two that I actually went to school with. That one couple is actually divorced now, but the other couple is still going strong. And I mean, I see them all the time, and I mean, it's just like, oh God, she
Mhm.
was a cheerleader, he was a football player, and it's like that fairy tale thing, whatever you call it.
We were both band nerds.
The
Band.
band nerds.
Yes.
That one time in band. No, I'm just kidding.
He was my best friend in school until we both got kind of broke up with about the same time. And it wasn't really never asked a question. It was more like, hey, are we dating? Like, yeah, okay, you know. And then we got engaged at senior prom. So
Oh wow,
never
that's
asked the question. It was just assumed that we were engaged. I don't.
it
That's
just
how we
fell into
was.
play. Yeah,
We
yeah.
both just said I love you, and we looked at each other weird and was
Whoa.
like, "Whoa, okay, I see."
Yeah, we'll talk
tonight."
about this later. Yeah, it was just one of those moments we had that.
Yeah,
moment.
it just
So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people aren't getting married anymore. They're trying it out or living together or, you know, dating long term and, you know, kind of like feeling like what's the purpose of getting married, I guess. But,
yeah.
you know, that's what we're called to do biblically. You know,
Right.
if you're wanting to be with somebody, you don't just continue to live with them or you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We put God first, and, you know,
Yeah.
that's just kind of how I see it. Maybe that's the reason that they're holding off on getting married.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It could be.
What school did you guys attend? High school.
We went to West.
West Iredale.
Yeah.
I did for a little bit. I was north.
See, I'm like I got
Oh,
to
not north. No.
see. I have to split though because I was at West
do
like
South.
all the way up until like 10th grade. Then I went to military school for 1 year and came back and had to go to South Iredale.
Oh.
So like a Viking warrior.
Yep.
Yeah, a warrior Viking is what I call it.
Warrior Viking.
Warrior Viking. So I have to do it. All right, and now we're going to play this game that we call it's who knows best. Couples discuss the game. Couples will answer questions for themselves and then for their spouse. Then at the end of each response, we're going to look and see who knows each other best. All right, now Brian, the guys have been doing really, really well. We've been winning on a regular basis here.
Well, hopefully I can keep it going.
We're gonna keep it going. I already know it's not no hopeful. We are doing it. We're winners here.
So retarded.
I'm just saying. I'm all about winning. I'm a competition kind of guy here. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you guys to grab a piece of paper, or you can use your cell phone. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna write down your answers and have your answers, and then you're gonna pick what you feel like your spouse would say.
We got some chats.
Oh, let's go to the chat real quick and see what we've got in our chat. We've got Hey Sloans from the I Do Me Too network. Hello. And then they're in from Des Moines, Iowa. And because of COVID, people were postponing their weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
It's probably
that
helped
is
out
true.
a lot on how people was wanting to just sit and get to know each other too.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Because you have to know how
I
to
do
live with
remember that
someone.
because when COVID hit, I was booked up. It was
For
so
all the
like
weddings.
for 2020, I was like supposed to be booked up completely,
Mhm.
and then they all got canceled,
Mhm.
and it hurt. But it may have helped some marriages. It may have hurt some marriages. And that's
Mhm.
the when you postpone things like that. But back to our chat here. Let's go ahead and get diving into our first question here. If you had the opportunity to own a business franchise, which of the following would you prefer? A department store, a fast food restaurant, a gas station, or a mobile phone store? This is cool. All right. Let's see what I would answer here. Let's see. What do you think? Let's see.
He's super nervous, by the way.
Who's nervous?
Brian, he's like, I'm the extrovert. I am the one that does. I go into a CVS and I come out knowing the person in front of me and their kids' names and what schools they went to, and he would prefer not to even engage with somebody in front of him.
I'm the extrovert, yeah. But
Yeah.
she's got a little bit of the extrovert. She's like she's borderline. She's like in between.
I wouldn't go in CVS and know someone's whole family. So that's
Well,
what I wouldn't do.
okay.
But I would.
I would.
It really depends
I don't meet
on
strangers.
Me either.
It depends on the location and the vibe. If I get the vibe and we chilling, we able to vibe together, then I get to know you. But other than that, nah.
He's like, get in, get out. Don't even acknowledge people around you.
This one sometimes when it depends on where we're at too. If you're more excited, and ready to talk to everybody.
Yeah, it depends.
It's like,
It depends on my mood.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and let's go first this time. We'll give them a chance to see how we answer, and then we can let them go next. Okay. So,
cool.
Ladies first.
All right.
What's
So I would definitely have a gas station because mobile phones, people switch up all the time because of different discounts and things like that. So don't change your answer.
I didn't change it. I didn't change it.
I chose for you. I did D, mobile phones, because you stay on your phone all the time. So I just didn't see the gas station thing.
Okay. Well, my answer was B. I would like to own a fast food restaurant because I like to eat, and I like what I like to eat. And then for you, I said A. I said department store because I thought that you would like clothes or something like that.
I just didn't think about all that because of COVID. I was just like, everybody went out and got gas. You know how gas went up and down. So I like to play around with my money.
I like the idea.
So that's why I chose C.
Okay. All right. Well, how about you guys? What did you guys choose? We'll start with the lady.
Okay, so for me, I chose cell phone store, because I like the newest technology. I like to play with technology. I don't want the manual. I want to play around with it and learn how to do it myself. And I like the newest and the best, mostly because of the camera. I take a lot of pictures of my kids, and I don't carry around a camera. I carry it on my phone. For him, I said fast food store. He's always talked about owning a store on the corner, making some kind of potato wedges or something.
Okay. So what did you say?
Hey, it's going to probably add up to the gas station as well if there's a corner in the store.
So I said the exact same thing that she did. I said that mine would be a mobile phone store just because I love being on my phone a lot. And I said she would want a fast food restaurant because we both worked at Chick-fil-A and she was a manager, and I've heard her say before she would like to own a Chick-fil-A. So
that's funny. When I said a mobile phone store.
Well, I don't feel bad right now because we're both O because nobody got anybody's right. So
no, but
fine.
Everybody wanted a phone store.
Yeah, everybody was thinking about the phone store.
But the food store on the corner, it has to have the gas station added to it because it does remind me of the market. You go get gas, go in and get the potato wedges and the chicken.
Yeah.
That's on Salisbury Road.
Or the pizza, like, Speedy Pies.
Speedy Pies.
Silent plug. Oh, man. All right, let's go to our next question that we've got here. If you felt that your spouse was struggling in an area, which subject would be the most difficult to discuss? Aging and age-related challenges, personal hygiene, physical appearance, or sexual abilities? Okay. The most difficult one to discuss. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I've got like two that I would say were hard for me, but I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I think this one was easy.
Well, since it was easy, you guys go first on this one.
So for Brian, the sexual abilities would be the hardest for him to discuss because he turns 5 shades of red real easy and can't discuss anything like that. He just can't. He's going to turn red me talking about it. But for me to discuss with him, I mean, I have no problem telling him he's stinky. I have no problem telling him go brush your hair. I mean, I don't have any. So it'd be the aging and the age-related challenges, I think I'd have trouble telling him, "Hey, dude, you're getting old."
So for me, for me it would be harder for the physical appearance.
You tell me something's up.
Yeah. But for her, I said the aging and age-related challenges. So,
Okay.
So I got one right.
Yeah. Sounds like he
He's
is.
scared that he would be scared to tell you you have a wrinkle.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he's gonna. Oh, you're gonna be.
Yes.
Okay, so no, I didn't get it right then.
No, because you said personal hygiene and sexual abilities, and then he said
Physical appearance
physical
and aging.
appearance and anti-aging.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm getting old.
Oh yeah.
See, we have to say it right now, baby, have a wrinkle. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay.
Oh my God, I do not have wrinkles.
But it's hard when you see each other every day to see that you're even getting old. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like we're any older than we started dating. Like, are
Yeah.
you getting old? I'm not getting old.
My hair tells a different story though.
His hair was jet black when he got married.
I
Yeah.
saw that picture. I saw that picture earlier. Yes, I remember. I
was jet
saw
black.
that. Yeah,
Yes. He blames it on me, but I think it was the kids.
it's the kids
Oh yeah.
and you, but it's okay. Okay, what about you, Sheila?
You go first.
Oh, I go first? Okay,
Mhm.
so I said for me, it would be physical appearance. To talk to her about physical appearance would be the hardest thing for me. Like if something was going on physically in her appearance, that would be hard for me to talk to her about. And I felt like for her to talk to me about would be sexual abilities. Because I think that she's like closed up when it comes to talking about stuff like that sometimes. Not all the time, but at certain times she does kind of get closed up about those types of issues.
Okay. All right.
I'm not looking. I'm
So
waiting.
for you, well, for me, I was thinking of physical appearance. You know, if you got a fat
Oh.
stomach for drinking a lot
Oh,
of
that
beer
was
and
what you
stuff,
said. Okay.
you know, they want to tell you that it's starting to poke out or something like that.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to keep, exercising, eating right foods and stuff,
Okay.
so that doesn't happen. I did put you were right. I did put D, that you would say D.
Sexual abilities.
Yeah, sexual.
So I did get that. I got one right. Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. At least we know we're on the right page. We're talking about the right things here. All right. Our next question. Oh, this is a good one here. What is your favorite season? Fall, spring, summer, or winter?
This was the
That's-
hardest one for me. It's hard to choose one.
Not for me. I love my favorite season.
Me
But-
too.
I don't know which one she would pick. I'm going.
Good luck, because I had trouble with this one. I had trouble picking my favorite. But I did. I picked one.
All right. I've got mine. You got yours?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to go with you guys this time, and we're going to let Brian start this time.
Okay, so for her, I said her favorite season is fall because she loves hoodies and she loves being warm all the time. And for me, I said summer because I absolutely love going to the beach.
I got it right.
So,
All right. So what did you say?
Well, I said for me fall and for him summer. And it was hard because I like every one of them except for winter. I don't like to be cold, as he said. I like a hoodie. I like the campfire s'mores in the fall. I like, I don't know, just the fall atmosphere, the leaves,
smells.
yeah, just everything that comes with fall. And I knew he'd be summer. He likes to be at the pool or by the lake or something during the summer.
That's a good. I'm glad they got it right. I see. She thinks I was changing my answer, but I'm not changing my answer. I didn't change it. I didn't change it. Okay.
What you got?
I said fall for both of us. I really did because we both like I love the fall because the pumpkins, the spice smell. It's not cold or hot. And I love the fire pit outside.
Okay. Well, I said for me,
and you love football, so I mean you like football and like that. So
I do. I love football, but it's not my favorite.
Okay.
I put spring. Spring is my favorite because of the fact that it's coming out of winter and it's like into the summer, but it's like it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's like it's warming up from the cold. That's what I like. I see the flowers coming out. It's getting back into the swing of just being outdoors again. Because in the wintertime, I really hibernate. I stay inside. I really don't like to go anywhere. And so
neither one of us like
winter. Yeah, winter is just not my favorite. But
I don't like winter.
But I did get you right. I said fall. So the guys win again.
You probably changed his answer.
I did not change my answer. I don't teach you guys.
Somehow
See what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to get paper from now on.
Yep. So your answers won't get changed.
Hey, I've got these cool erasable pens. We can just erase it. And
No, we don't have erasable pens. No. They're on the other side of the screen.
I didn't cheat. I didn't.
So we're gonna give it to the guys.
Again, we win. Yes.
We'll let them think that they won. We know the real answer.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's okay. But all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing with us on that one. That was a good one. All right. And now what we would like to do, we got to jump into a video real quick on learning more about the principles of marriage and what kind of stands out to us on things. So just take a look at this real quick.
You may be struggling in your marriage, feeling unhappy, or even feel that there's just something missing. Or you just might appreciate your marriage so much that you want to build upon and sustain what you already have. What we've discovered is that there are biblical principles that help break bondages that keep us from enjoying a happy and fruitful marriage. Our couples Bible study explores the meaning behind scriptures according to specific topics. The Bible study questions help couples to seek the answers that address their own specific needs and concerns. Remember that building and maintaining a happy and healthy marriage is not a destination, but a wonderful and rewarding journey. Now, let's continue this journey with our next lesson.
All right. We want to give a big shout out to my man Elijah. His birthday is this week, and we've been celebrating his birthday. This dude is done a lot for us here on the show. He's he put the music together for a lot of the stuff that we did for our intro. As you heard the intro in the beginning, that's Elijah Jamal. On the intro, he was also one of the characters in our animated series, Kicking It with the Sloans.
Have you guys seen that? The Kicking It with the
Sloans?
We're definitely got to share that with you. Yeah.
Yes, Elijah was the character. He was the guy.
He was the guy that tried to rob us in the at the studio. He tried to rob us, but he's not a robber, real.
Fun. And Grace will love it, especially since she knows you guys. That'll be awesome.
Oh, yes, I would love for him to sit.
Yeah, our grandson was like, "Oh my gosh, Gigi, you're famous." It's just a little YouTube sitcom that we did during the pandemic. It was really, really cool. Yes. Helped us get through like just being bored because everything just completely shut down. But yeah, we'll share the link with you guys.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
We've got a few We've got a few chats here. Let's go ahead and acknowledge we've got on here. Hello from Higgins in Michigan. Hello, Higgins. We're going to be seeing you guys soon. Hopefully, we'll see you guys. We got to have these guys on next week. And then we've got another one here.
You could have left that one off.
The husband knows
don't pump his head up,
best.
please.
Yes. The husband knows best. I love it. I love it. All right. And we've got one more clip to jump into real quick. And it's going to give you a little insight.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize it was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land, walking hand in hand. Now that we can understand what we were fighting for, fighting for love, love, fighting for love.
There it is. That's another one of Elijah's contributions to the show. Once again, happy birthday, Elijah. I know you'll be seeing it. I know you'll see it.
Happy
birthday.
All right. And this is our core group right here. And I really love these guys. Everybody on here, we have really grown to just love all of you guys. On Monday evenings, we are the Sloans. We facilitate here. On Tuesdays, the creators of this whole group, the people that put it all together, the Jamals, the I Do Me Too movement. We love you guys. Thank you so much for doing it and having us be a part of this. They'll be facilitating on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And then the Nichols, who facilitate on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Listen to me.
Eastern Standard. And then also the Rudges, who jump in from time to time, and they are hilarious. We love you guys. They come in. They are color commentators. They put it all together for us sometimes, and we just love you guys. Thank you so much for doing what you guys do too, Rudges. We love you. And as we move forward, we'd like for everybody to complete the assignments and go to www.idome2.org, and you can choose a day and time that you can commit to working on the assignments, and just do your best to stay dedicated to it. What it is that you just there's interactive Bible study verses that you can go on and go on with like this month, we're studying love, and so it will be based on the Bible verses that we're studying for the month on love. And what it does is kind of helps you to remember those Bible verses a little better. It helps you to kind of comprehend what's being said, so that you can talk about it a little more in depth. So for those couples that we do have coming up, we'll have asked for you to head to www.idome2.org and check it out and see what we've got going on there, and see what's going on. Our couples challenge this week is we'd like for you guys to take turns giving each other a hand massage or a manicure, and spend time with each other and tell each other how it makes you feel. It's kind of like something that you can incorporate into your date night. If you don't already have a date night, here we go. There's date night. There's something that you guys can do just with the two of you. It doesn't have to do with the kids. It doesn't have to do with anybody else. No friends, family. It's just you two spending time together, talking to each other.
That's the beauty about being married. Like just touching each other, like massaging, like it's cool. You can maybe do that with nobody else.
No.
And feel the same thing.
No, we definitely can't do that with anyone else. No. All right. And like before, we saw the video earlier, our Bible study. We're going to jump right into our Bible study questions. And our Bible study comes from 1 Peter 4, verse 8. And this is from the New King James Version. And above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. Now, we would like for everyone in the chat to join in. If you've got something that you feel on these questions that we're about to ask, please feel free to chime in the chat. We'd love to hear from you guys, okay? Let's go ahead and jump into our first question that we have here. Question number 1. What does the phrase above all things mean? And give an example of something that you have recently put above everything else. Above all things.
I mean, everything, you know, your job, your career, your children,
Your spouse.
yeah. I mean, when it comes to, you know, loving the Lord, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's supposed to be what? JOY, Jesus, others, yourself. Is how we're supposed to love. So I don't know, maybe above everything else.
Yeah.
I like that. Above all things. What do you have anything to add to
I
that?
mean, most of the time I do put my marriage above all things, you know, like if we've been together for so long, so if it's a job that I worked at and it didn't fit our schedule, or it was just like the people there that just I wasn't feeling or something like that, I was just like, you know, this is not for me, you know, and I've always have looked at our marriage and said, you know, I have to do this first, you know, to keep this going, to keep myself going, to help us both stay, you know, happy and satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And then my children, it's the second, you know, they come before others because, you know, they're my daughters, and I love them. I love my family. So, you know, above all things is basically my family, you know.
Yeah. I know I do put God first in everything that I do. I know you do. I know that God comes first in everything, of course. But like you said, our marriage is a top priority. And I try my best to prioritize that the right way. So I don't always put things in the right perspective all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that is my main priority. I do try my best to put our marriage first, our family second, and God first, our marriage second, and then our family, and then so on and so forth. It's above all things. You know, you just got to know that it's above. God is first in everything, and you just can't second guess that, because if you don't put him first, then everything else will fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else will fall apart.
I think you've kind of experienced that over the last year. You know, our intentions were good. A lot of times he put his job first because he felt like he was doing it for me. You know, better in your career, better in, you know, whatever. And I put the kids first because that was my role as a mom. You know, I felt like that was kind of, you know, where I was. But then we reached a point in March where it was, you know, we realized that we weren't giving each other what each other needed, not what we thought that they needed. Kind of like that game that we were playing, you know, what you think the other one's going to answer. And we saw that most of the time we were wrong with that. Like I didn't stop and ask him, you know, what's your answer to this? I just assumed I knew, and kind of vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we thought we knew what was best for the other person, but we never stopped to ask them.
Yeah.
And so our intentions were good, but we didn't put each other above all else. We put what we thought the other one needed above all else.
Mm.
And
We got to a breaking point in March, and it was like, okay, we've got to reprioritize, and we've got to figure out what each other does need, and we've got to meet that need. You know, we've got the 5 love languages. What's your love language and what's my love language? And let's talk about it instead of assuming that we know what each other's love language is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can relate with that because, you know, when our kids were small, you know, we thought about things different. Like, you know, they've been away from home since what, 1920, like almost 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm counting on my second finger now, my second hand now, and I think before we was putting the kids first because, you know, he was always telling me,
she would put the
well,
kids
I would put the
first.
kids first because he was always saying, you know, you always put them first. You always put them first before anything. And I think that's a mother's love because we birthed them. They've been in our, they, you know, they was in our stomach for 9 months, and then we had to raise them from a fetus all the way up until now. You know, you guys haven't hit that stage yet, and
Yeah.
when you do, it gets more. I think you get. I feel like I gotten more closer, like more tighter with my girls, where I'm like a little bit more disciplined because I'm like, okay, you have to learn how to do this. You can't do that. You know, you're not a teenager anymore. You know, it's like I got to step away and let you become a mom. You know, and I think it, you know, above all things, it's also an age thing too. Like you age into it as you grow, you know, into adulthood, you know, because I feel like I became an adult after I got married
Yeah.
and had to make decisions, you know, with my spouse because when I met him, I was a single mom, you know, living on my own. So I was so used to doing things for myself. And I wasn't looking for a man. That's why I was like, when we both said I love you, I was like, whoa, you know, and but it just led into that relationship. And that's why I just talking with you guys got me seeing that above all things is really age thing.
And when you were saying that, Brian, you were consumed with your job and trying to go further and grow and grow. I believe that's what I've been doing, like my entire life, trying to find how to grow and just be the man, be the breadwinner, be the one.
Because that's how society identifies men most of the time. It's like, what is your job? What do you do? And as a mom, it's how many kids do you have? You know, like tell me about your kids. And that's how society a lot of times identifies us, you know, and we are to be of the world or in the world, not of the world. We're called to be set apart and we're known differently and it's going to look differently.
Yeah.
That is true. Dang, that's wild.
Yeah.
You know, you don't think about that.
I mean, until you start talking about it, because I mean,
how many kids do you have, Mom? That's the first question that you ask a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many kids? Yeah.
Right. And then what do you do for a living? You know, like.
Yeah. Wow. And most of the time, it's like my husband does.
Yeah.
You know, because he's the one. You know, you look at first. You know, I always look at him first. I'm like, okay. All right, this ain't happening. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? Well, I need you to sit down and talk to me, you know? You know, and it's like, because I'm so used to him being the one that step up if anything goes wrong. He's the first one to say, okay, Sheila, you got to have faith. Let's make this work, you know? And I'm like, okay, I believe. So it's
it's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah. And since the kids have left, we have the empty nest, and that's been a challenge too, because before it was all about the kids. What do we got to do with the kids? What do we got to do with the kids? You know, what are we doing with the kids? And now it's, we don't have any kids. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do now? And it's like,
and who are you? And who am I? And, you know,
what do you like?
I
don't even know what you like anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I like anymore.
Because
so
sometimes
like...
we have to make ourselves get off our cell phones as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we've been on our phones too long, you know, or a couple of days we've been on the phone and the computer because we do both run our own businesses. And, you know, it just leads into where we're like, okay, stop. You know, our relationship is above all of, you know, all of these cell phones and internet and, you know, Facebook, let's give each other time. So we do have to stop each other for that.
One of our comments said, making something your number one priority, putting everything else on the back burner.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more social media.
Let it go. Let it go. I had
Hey,
to
I
put
saw that you popped that up again.
I wasn't meaning to. I was just flipping through. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our next question that we have here. What is fervent love? And give an example of something that gets fervent love from you. Go ahead.
I looked up the definition. Hot and passionate. It's like it's on fire. So, for us, I mean, it tends to be our kids. We love our kids with a passion that it doesn't matter. I mean, they're your kids no matter what. And do anything for them kids, and don't come between me and my kids.
Yeah.
But we have grown more like that in the last several months. I mean, we've been married for 17 years, almost 17 years, but it's different now because I feel like we're intentional about it. And that's, I think that's where it comes in is, putting it on the back burner and being intentional about it. If you put the other things on the back burner, the back burners are sometimes the smaller ones. On my stove, it is anyway. That back burner is the smaller stove, and it takes longer to heat on the smaller stove. But it's most of the time I move this stuff to the bigger stove area because I want to heat it up faster, right? And so, if you want something to be on fire, if you want a passion there, it's got to be on the big burner. All the other stuff's got to be moved back because it's not a priority. The stuff on the big burner is the priority. And making this relationship and this relationship a priority, putting it on the front burner and putting everything else on the back burner. I mean, they will eventually boil. They'll eventually, whatever. But that's not the priority. The priority is the big pot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe intentionally moving the other stuff back to the smaller burners and moving what's important to the big pot in the front.
Well, and for me, I didn't grow up in a house that went to church. So going to church was never a priority. I would have much rather slept in and just enjoyed my Sunday by myself. But since March and since getting married, I mean, going to church and getting more into the Bible, studying God's word, that's been my passion right here lately. So
that's good. Like, I know
he's the church guy.
Yeah, I grew up in the church, and it's I mean, since I can't remember not going to church. That's like
that's me.
Yeah, it was Sundays, and then Wednesday nights we went to church, and then Saturdays we had choir rehearsal. And it was the kids choir for me, and my mom and them had choir practice after that, and then my grandmother and them had choir practice after that.
It's still like
and
that
then
with his family.
On Sundays it was
not
all
choir
day
practice, but church.
Yeah, and
we always did church in the morning, lunch, nap, church in the afternoon. Like Sundays that was it. There was no other, like, you didn't do anything else. But he had never really gone to church. I mean, a time here or there, but not until we got married. And kind of like, whoa, this is like totally different.
Yeah,
I'm like that. My family tried to go to church. I don't want to say church thing because we're not attending church right now because we feel like it's just been like the different churches that we have attended has different issues.
We are looking for the right church home now because of just different issues that we have had at churches and things of that nature. Because I sing, and when I go to a church and they already know that I sing, it's like, oh, come on, Sheldon, and your name is what? That's Sheldon's wife. They don't acknowledge my wife. They acknowledge me, and that's already a no-no. Because if you can't look at her and me on the same level, regardless of our contributions to the church, then we don't need to be there. And that's why
We also
we're
saw
still trying
people
to find.
dating in the church that was not
Yeah,
supposed to be dating.
yeah.
So it was some different things that we saw in the church, that I saw in the church and paid attention to, that was bothering me. And I went through a stage where I was reading the Bible, I was reading a lot of Joel Osteen books, and I was really trying to break myself away from the world and really dig into what God has created, and it was messing with me. So I really took to more of the TD Jakes and Joel Osteen online to learn, the word, and I feel much better that way. We still have conversation about him wanting to find a church to go to, but
Because that's what I
it's
mean.
just I
That's
feel more
I know that
comfortable.
fellowship is what I'm looking for. Because it says in the Bible that you have to have that fellowship. You put it together. I mean, and you confide in each other, and you just build those relationships through the church,
You
through
need that accountability. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
just knowing that you have someone to be accountable to.
Right.
You're there, and that's what I'm looking for. And I mean, we'll find it. I know we
Yeah, we'll
will.
find it.
We'll find it, but we just haven't found it yet. But I know that
I'm
we're
still
praying
enjoying
for it.
my services online.
I enjoy the services online. I do enjoy the services online, but I am looking to
What
find the right church home.
it is hard because I mean churches are full of sinners, and there isn't going to be a perfect church.
Never.
And that's it's hard because there's a fine line there between, no, this does not line up biblically, this should not be allowed, this is not okay, versus, okay, this is a person here that is a sinner and I need to love them regardless. There's a really fine line there, and I don't
Hmm.
know what to tell you that line is. So that's I think God puts that in your heart, and
Yeah.
he does pick us up and move us sometimes when we're not expecting it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Hmm.
anyway,
Yeah. Like we were saying, I just feel like he's going to lead us where we need to go, and that's what we're just in that mode right now of just trying.
between, yes.
Yeah, we're seeking right now. So it'll come to us when
And
it's
like you
time.
said, it's going to be in your heart. You
Yeah.
you know, that's like, okay, I love being here.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll know.
Yeah, you'll feel a peace. I think God will give that to you, even though it's full of sinners and it's not going to be perfect. God will give you a peace when you know
Oh,
that you're.
oh yeah,
yeah. Nowhere is perfect, and we
oh
do know
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But I have to, sometimes as a human being, you have to, go with your gut feelings, your
Hmm.
heart, your,
Yeah.
wanting to get up every single morning and making sure it works or it happens.
Yeah.
And, that's just how I am.
It's gonna come together. All right. And our next question is, what does it mean to cover something, and what would you most like to have covered in your life? Well, I mean, I feel like being like I think we were discussing it before, that like just covering your life with love. I mean, me personally, I want my life to be covered with love, and fulfillment,
Mhm.
knowing that the things that I want in life and the things that I need in life, the things I desire in life, are covered, and they're not going anywhere. And also it could mean you want to hide certain things in your life. I mean, that's just my interpretation of it. I mean, I don't want to have to hide anything, but you
When I
know
when
I'm
it
just
talks about love covering a multitude of sins, I think of puppy dog love. I think of like those glasses that you put on at the first part of your relationship where you don't see all the bad stuff, maybe. You know,
mm,
Right.
love does that. When you truly love somebody, you can overlook some of those things. And in love though, you have to call it out too. But there's a way that you do it, not, I guess, condemning, maybe. I mean, but you still
Yeah.
condemning, you're still calling them out, but you're doing it in love. And so love covers it. You don't see it as much. You don't, I guess, harp on it, maybe continue to bring it up. I don't know. But it's a different way of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a different way of seeing the sins, a different way of seeing mistakes.
Well, that's like when it says multitude of sins. Like say you okay, we have a couple that's married and one of you guys have an addiction and the other one knows about the addiction, but nobody else knows about the addiction. It can be any kind of addiction. It could be food addiction. It could be alcohol addiction, cigarettes. I know some people that went to church on a regular basis, came home and smoked their cigarettes in the bathroom and didn't let nobody know that they was a cigarette smoker. So I think covering sins is addiction,
Yeah.
most likely. And then as a couple, it's just someone could have addiction towards something, or just and you just not talking about it to other people. And I think a lot of couples cover that because they want to keep their marriage open into the world, as a certain image. They want everybody to see them a certain way, which is not true. And that can also cause suffering in the marriage as well, when you're covering up things, because one spouse might tear that spouse up that they see the other spouse doing something so much.
Yeah.
That's why I like to be open with our marriage. I mean, we
Yes.
don't go out and tell everybody, oh, he did this last night, girl. I don't really do that, because I feel like,
That's the
my
worst thing you
girlfriends
could
don't
do.
need to be in my business, if he, got on my nerves yesterday for something silly. And because it's definitely not going to be infidelity, because if it's infidelity, we're not going to be together.
Right.
But like if he had a sex addiction, we wouldn't be together, because I wouldn't be the wife that says, I got to cover that up. No, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I feel like, covering, cover is, you really protecting the marriage, could be protecting the marriage from so much gossip, because people gossip in the world,
Yeah, that's why they say that we heard a long time ago that when we got married, they said that don't tell anybody what goes on inside those four walls that you live in, because once I tell my boy that Sheila got on my nerves and what Sheila did, my boy is not going to like Sheila because he's my boy. He's going to always look at Sheila that way. Even though I forgave Sheila 3 days ago, he looks at her the same way that I told him 3 days ago she was.
Well, and same with parents.
Yeah, parents, anybody.
Wow,
If you tell somebody, that's why they say when you get married, you leave your mother and father and cleave to the one that you married. That's who you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tell them all of your secrets and not everyone else. Once you tell someone else outside of your marriage about what's going on inside your marriage, there's always going to be a prejudgment from that person about your spouse.
Yeah.
And you can't get that back. It's just they're always going to look at them differently.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think this verse goes, this way as well as this way, because a lot of times in the Bible, they compare a marriage to, the bridegroom, Christ and the church. Mm-hmm. And so it can be, this way, it can be the marriage way. And I think that that's how it's meant, as well as, vertically as well, above all things, have fervent love for each other. And he's wanting us to love Christians. He's wanting us to love sinners. He's wanting, whatever. And that love, that agape love, that, unconditional love covers a multitude of sins. We're going to see each other differently if we look at each other through God's eyes, this way and in the world. We're going to see people the way God created them, the way God loves them. We should be loving them. And that comes from, from the love that Christ gave. He died for us. He was willing to put down his life for us in order for us to see others differently.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's like, I've been learning a lot about the 12, not a lot, but I've been hearing a lot about the 12 disciples and what Jesus had to go through with his 12 disciples, and each one of them had something going on, you know. And
I'm that doubting Thomas.
Say that again.
I'm that doubting Thomas. I touch? Is it real? Can I touch it? Can I feel it? Like, I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm still torn. I believe I'm like what is it, Peter? I believe it's kind of like,
out.
yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to. I can step out and I take that step or two, and then I look down and I'm like, am I really doing it?
Oh.
And it's like if I can just grab a hold of that faith and hold on to it for real.
Keep our focus. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep that focus. I think I'll be unstoppable. I think that's
we all learn.
You have to learn. Yeah. You have to learn. Well, guys, we want to say thank you, guys. I mean, we didn't get to all of our questions, but we had a great conversation with you guys. I think this was a really good
great.
show.
Yep.
Yeah. They get better and better.
Yeah, I know you guys gonna sit back and talk about it because we are too. Because I did learn some things tonight, just having a conversation with you guys. And I want to say thank you. And it was nice talking to both of you guys because I see him more than I see you guys. So
that's why I was intentional Friday night about trying to talk to you because I talk to Sheldon all the time, but I was like, I don't get to talk to her very much.
No, look, I'm not a summer girl, so being out the pool is like it's hot. So you're the
behind the scenes boss.
Yes.
No, I'm not the boss.
Yes, she is.
I am not the boss, but I just, like I told him, I said, if you get us a fan, then I will sit out there more because
I got to get us a fan. I just haven't done it. I don't know.
We have one. It's a missing fan. I'll bring it for you next time.
Well, we'll be there on the 12th for Amy's celebration.
Yeah, the fundraiser.
Not celebration, her fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there, and I'll be there with a fan that'll mist for you, so that you'll be nice and cool.
I really appreciate that because we keep forgetting to get that. So that's why he's like, you staying,
dude. It gotta be
something to eat or have a meeting that I've set up.
It's just been one of those things. Like I said, in the summertime it gets really hot, and that's not something that I don't do a lot of outside events. That's really one of the only real outside events that I'm dedicated to yearly. But I know I need to get ready for it, but I just haven't done it.
We never getting piece by piece.
Yeah, but we'll get
it. We got you with the fan.
I really appreciate that.
There you go. Hey, girl. She's sleepy. You can stay up till 10 o'clock on pool nights, and look at you now, about to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, she gets up early on school nights.
She had to come say hey.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Oh yeah, she's been dying to come over here.
Well, guys, we really appreciate it. Once again, we thank you guys, and just hang out for just a minute. We want to talk to you guys after everything is over with real quick.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks
all right.
again.
Well, everybody out there with
Bye,
YouTube
Facebook,
land, we
bye,
love you
YouTube.
guys, and be sure to tune in with us next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central for I Do Me Too, Friends of Your Marriage. We love you guys.
We had to travel the world of our past to realize it was harder before cause we weren't by each other's side. Maybe it took a little longer to know together we're stronger. That's the way our love survived. Now we've gone through the fire. Love will take us higher, higher than it was before we went through love and war. See the promised land, walking hand